Hello everyone, our group is conformed by Ana Cecilia Vargas, Tajinder Kaur, and myself, Santiago Salamanca. And this project is based on an implementation of a proficient supply chain in Mexico for home medics. Home Medics is a company trading in the health and wellness market, performing in almost all the countries around the world. But in this project, the issue is that in Mexico they have a low sales level. The objective with this project is an incursion into the retail channel and e-commerce channel too, but the way to do it is by selecting a proper 3PL. Our team is conformed by one project manager assistant and a logistic analyst that will report to the project manager. The project manager will conduct the meetings with the project sponsor in order to perform the specific requirements that the project asks for. The management review process will be conducted by the project sponsor and the project manager together once a week, with information that the project manager assistant and the logistic analyst provide the project manager with. There are two specific ways to measure the project. The first one is every 3 weeks, which requires a personal meeting between the project sponsor and the project manager. And the other one is at any time, which must be performed only by the project sponsor by reviewing the documental information produced in the project. The suppliers must comply with the company standards for delivery, which are based in the economy shipping within 5 to 7 days, business days, and standard shipping from 2 to 5 business days, and a priority shipping from 1 to 2 business days. All potential suppliers must comply with these standards, otherwise they will be disqualified from the selection process. All the documental information will be uploaded to Brightspace Langara College, and this documentation will be such as tasks, costs, resources, issues, and risks, and this must be performed before the 30th of June of 2021 for evaluation purposes. The project team will rely on the logistic analyst to perform activities such as investigation, collection, and selection of the 3PL, referring and in accordance with the company standards mentioned in the supplier management process. The project team must investigate, contact, and quote all the different rates and benefits that all the 3PLs can provide the company with in order to develop an evaluation to identify the most profitable and resourceful 3PL for the company according to its needs.
Hi, my name is Tajinder Kaur and I'm going to present the schedule information. The entire project will be of 7 months, 1 month for planning stage, 1 month for execution stage, and 1 more month for buffer as a contingency plan just in case any unexpected conditions occur that will affect the development of the project.
In order to select the proper 3PL, the project team must establish the requirements that the 3PL might have, which are the compliance with the corporate standards, to develop a demographic evaluation, a geographic evaluation, and an evaluation of the politicals and duties barriers in the Mexican market. When there must be implemented an integration of a new requirements, there has to be a communication in writing when this new requirement is internal. If the requirement is external, this can be implemented right away because of the high risk that this could represent to the project. So, for example, political regulations. Requirements will be designated as following: 1 for mandatory, 2 desirable, and 3 nice to have, giving an emphasis to the mandatory requirements in the traceability matrix. As we can see, the mandatory requirement will be enumerated as R01. In green color, we can see those ones that has been passed or approved already, and then in red color we have those ones that are pending. Desirable will be numerated as R02, and nice to have will be numerated as R03. Now let's talk about the work breakdown structure. So the main title is the supply chain in Mexico, having major categories such as economic factors, demography, trade agreements, and the 3PL. In the economic factors, there are categories that secondary categories that has to be evaluated, such as the educational standard to develop a marketing analysis, the saving rates to identify the opportunities of the products to be purchased, the barriers to trade, such as risk and opportunities, the political stability, such as taxes, um, the microeconomic stability, like market niche stability, and the infrastructure, such as delivery accuracy. In the demography is major category, we can find a quantity of people living there, the likes and desires of the people. In the trade agreement, we can identify the rates for transportation, insurance, and duties. And in the 3PL, there are secondary categories that must be evaluated, such as warehousing, the movement of goods, custom clearance rates, and previous relations with other customers.
We divided our project into four major activities. These are economic factor, demography, trade agreements, and 3PLs. Then we categorize these major activity into sub-activities. And if I talk about the economic factors, then education level of the population of the Mexican people will help to determine our marketing strategy. To find the opportunity to sell the product in the Mexican market, we need to know about the saving rates and habits of the Mexican people. Um, Barrier to trade will help us to analyze the risk and opportunities that are involved in doing business across borders. Political stability will help to know us the tax rate fluctuation while goods are moving from one place to another. Infrastructure helps us to know the accurate time for the delivery. The second major activity is the demography. Quantity needed, likes and desires of the people of the Mexican people will help us to know about the total market share where home-made products can be sold. Trade agreements, transportation, insurance and duties will help us to know the total rates of the shipment that will be moving from USA to Mexico. 3PLs. Warehousing help us to know how much quantity can be stored or handled easily, or what kind of conditions are required to store home-made products. Movement of goods, that volume, frequency and handling will know by will help to know us how the goods will be moved from one place to another. Knowledge and accuracy will help us to collect information regarding the approval and denial of the cargo by Mexican customs. Win-win and constant relationship will help us to compare the RFQ of different suppliers and choose the best ones. Previous relationship, these are definitely affect our future trade. What kind of previous relationship we have with our suppliers, that will affect our future business operations. We have 7 months in totality to complete the entire project. That was started from 1st of June 2021 to 1st of January 2022. We divide the time between these activities as per their importance and the work that will has to be done. Under the activity, we give 45 days to economic factors that will start from 1st of July to 2021 to 15th of August 2021. In this time period, all the sub-activity should be completed. We give 20 days to demography that will start from 15th of August to 5th of September, and these are subdivided as market share 10 days, likes and desire 7 days, and desire 7 days. Trade agreements. We give 30 days to trade agreements and then subdivided this time into sub activities like transport 15 days, insurance 10 days, and duties with 5 days. 3PLs will take 55 days to accomplish their work. Warehousing and movement of goods will take 15 days each. Custom clearance will take 13 days. Um, when rates and the previous relationship will take 5 and 2 days subsequently, and last 31 days as a buffer for the project. The main output of the schedule development process is the project schedule, which we displayed in the form of a Gantt chart. This chart provides a standard format for displaying project schedule information by listing project activities and their corresponding starts and finish dates in a calendar format. Resource table and histogram. People are considered as most important asset of the organization and the project. They determine the success and failure of the project. To make this project successful, we need following people. These are project manager, assistant project manager, logistic analyst, importer, freight forwarder, warehouse manager, and miscellaneous people. It is assumed that every month has the same number of working hours, that is calculated as 40-40 work week hours in each calendar month. 40 work hours equals to 1 week, 160 work hours equals to 4 weeks, 160 equals to 1, that means full-time employed. In this project manager works 4.75, that means 760 hours in total. That is followed by assistant project manager and logistic analyst, that is 600 work hours, and the importer and warehouse manager works for 2.5, that is 400 work hours, and freight forwarder works for 1.25, that is 200 work hours, and miscellaneous people work for 2, that means 320 work hours.
Hi, I am Ana Cecilia Vargas. I am going to talk about the planning cost management and planning risk management. In the planning cost management, we determine the assumptions for estimating costs. These assumptions are units of measure, currency. Everything is considered in Canadian dollars, even though most of the costs are in US dollars and Mexican pesos. For example, Canadian costs are staff hours, travel expenses, and miscellaneous. US costs are production costs and inbound freight. And Mexican costs are outbound freight, warehousing, and labor. Labor, it is considered internal and external labor for Homemade's project. Internal labor is done by our staff, project manager, assistant project manager, and logistics analyst. External labor is considered to work as a team with strategic partners in importer, freight forwarder, and 3PL specialist, in warehouse, logistics, and distribution. The project steering committee members' time is not directly charged to the project. We have to consider expenses. Traveling expenses. Most of the project will be held by Zoom meetings, but it is important to consider that this project is held on 2 different countries outside Canada, so it will be necessary to consider travel expenditure. Training. It is considered to train end users and in the execution phase. Facilities. It is considered some expenditure in external facilities when the team project is outside Canada. Cost reports. The project manager will be monitoring cost performance, tracking every expenditure to report any deviation. This report will be revised bi-weekly. The categories considered according to WBS are as follows: initiating, economic and factors, demography; planning, trade agreements, and 3PL; executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. For the cost estimate, we use a combination of analogous estimate and bottom-up estimate to calculate the costs of this project. It is considered a similar project done inside Canada 1 year ago, which has the same head count and 1 month less than this new project. But as there is no experience in working outside of Canada, there are assumptions involving individual activities and summing them to the total of the project. Those are strategic partners specialized in Mexico and US supply chain activities, importer, freight forwarder, and 3PL. In this slide, we can see the cost baseline, that is the budget divided into the 7 months. of the total project. Here is the risk management plan. The methodology. The project team will have meetings for review the data provided by home medics regarding their operations and needs. Also, interviews with key contacts are considered. The project team will review available data provided by home medics to describe the supply chain and identify potential risk situations. The project team also will review previous similar projects to this one. During the meetings, they will use different tools and techniques such as brainstorming, interviews, and risk-related checklists to assist in risk management. Roles and responsibilities. The project manager will be responsible for leading the team in performing risk-related activities. As deliverables are determined, the project manager will delegate activities to others as appropriate. Funding and timing. As risk activities are determined, the budget and schedule information will be provided. Risk categories: business case, external, planning, organizational, and technical. And finally, after identifying all the risks, we did the project risk assessment. There are 5 main risks. Here is the description, the root cause, the triggers, and all the potential consequences and actions that we should do. Thank you very much.